Lexi Hull doing it all on that defensive possession. Clark. Oh! From another stratosphere!
I've rewritten your transcript into one clean, engaging paragraph with unique wording while preserving the original message. A wave of silence has taken over the sports media world this morning, and the reason is impossible to ignore. The analysts who spent days defending Stephanie White, the reporters who pushed questionable injury narratives, and the WNBA decision-makers who ignored growing concerns are now facing a set of facts they can no longer explain away. Friday night's numbers did more than give the Indiana Fever a win. They completely challenged the story that had been promoted all week. The performance on the court exposed major inconsistencies and raised serious questions about the messages coming from those in charge. When an organization works hard to control public perception around a superstar player, the last thing it wants is for that player to return almost immediately and deliver a performance that destroys the entire narrative in front of a national audience. Welcome back to WNBA Pro. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happened and why the fallout is only getting started. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about and controversial box score stories of the 2026 season. This breakdown combines the frustration of fans who felt misled earlier in the week with the undeniable facts that emerged during Indiana's 90-82 win over the previously unbeaten Golden State Valkyries. Anyone who believes a single victory has ended the growing tension surrounding the Fever may want to think again. We'll examine Caitlin Clark's impressive 22-point performance, take a closer look at the questions surrounding her reported back injury, spotlight Aliyah Boston's outstanding impact on the game, and analyze the coaching decisions that have sparked intense debate among fans and commentators. To understand the full story, we first need to revisit the events leading up to the game and the surprising turnaround that has everyone talking.
I don't care what nobody says. Now, I do got to say all of this is alleged, but for her to play 32 minutes, solid 32, she had 9 assists. She could still possibly pick up this 10th assist with 41 seconds left and get another double-double. She was 7 of 15 for the field so far. She was 4 of 5 on free throw.
Fans were told by general manager Amber Cox and head coach Stephanie White that Caitlin Clark was not healthy enough to suit up against one of the league's newest and least experienced teams. The announcement came shortly before tip-off, leaving many supporters surprised and frustrated. White explained that Clark had woken up with significant back stiffness and that the medical staff wanted to be careful with her recovery, presenting the issue as serious enough to keep her off the court. Many fans accepted the explanation, while others questioned the timing and circumstances. Then came Friday night under the national spotlight against the undefeated Golden State Valkyries. Suddenly, the concerns surrounding her condition seemed far less visible. Clark returned to action looking confident, energetic, and fully engaged from the opening minutes. Rather than appearing limited by any physical setback, she played at a high level and delivered one of her strongest performances of the season, immediately reigniting debate about the situation and leaving many observers wondering what had really changed in such a short period of time. On Friday night, Caitlin Clark didn't just return to the lineup, she carried a massive workload against one of the toughest teams in the league. She logged 32 intense minutes, more than any other player on the roster, while directing the offense from start to finish. Her final numbers were impressive: 22 points, 9 assists, 46% shooting from the field, and 4 made three-pointers on 9 attempts. The team also outperformed its opponent by 7 points while she was on the court. Throughout the game, Clark looked confident, focused, and fully in control, showing no obvious signs of being limited. That performance immediately raised questions because it came only 2 days after she was ruled out with a back issue that was described as serious enough to keep her from playing.
Seeing dart passes, bro. So, no, it was Janelle Sloan and Caitlin Clark. Referees had to step in. Look at Caitlin, guys. Showing how tough she is. Hitting logo threes as well. Getting inside. Just Caitlin is so damn good, bro. I think, man, it's just crazy how...
For many critics of the organization, this box score became the strongest piece of evidence supporting the concerns they have raised all season. From their perspective, Clark's performance made it difficult to reconcile the explanation given for her absence just days earlier. Some fans argued that the injury designation never fully matched what they witnessed on Friday night, leading to renewed speculation about the reasons behind her missed game. Those questions only grew louder after Clark returned and immediately helped transform the team's offense. With her back in the lineup, the Fever looked more organized, more efficient, and far more dangerous on the offensive end. One of the biggest beneficiaries was Aliyah Boston, who appeared to take full advantage of Clark's playmaking ability and court vision. Boston played 29 minutes and delivered a dominant performance, consistently creating problems for the opposing defense and showing why many believe she has the talent to be among the league's elite players when surrounded by the right support and offensive structure. Aliyah Boston delivered one of the most dominant performances by any Indiana Fever player this season. In 29 minutes, she controlled the paint, scored 20 points on an efficient 8 of 15 shooting night, and pulled down an incredible 16 rebounds, including 4 on the offensive glass. Her impact was reflected in a team best plus 15 rating, highlighting just how valuable she was on both ends of the floor. The chemistry between Boston and Caitlin Clark was impossible to miss, as their passing, timing, and decision-making consistently created quality scoring opportunities. Their partnership continues to look like one of the most dangerous combinations in the league and a major reason for the Fever's success when both are operating at a high level. Kelsey Mitchell also played a crucial role, providing steady production and calm execution during key moments. She logged 31 minutes, scored 19 points, and was perfect from the free throw line, converting every one of her 11 attempts. In close, high-pressure situations, that level of consistency is exactly what teams expect from a veteran leader. While the players delivered an impressive all-around performance on the court, the coaching decisions surrounding the team remained a major topic of discussion among fans and analysts following the game.
They might call a timeout. I don't know what happened. I got to see what happened, guys. So I'm streaming the game right here on my phone. Why would the Fever call a timeout? Let me see. Oh, probably so they can run a clock. Crazy Caitlin Clark stat just came up. Let me see here.
Another major talking point from this game was Stephanie White's rotation strategy. Just one day earlier, the Indiana Fever front office made a roster move that many fans and analysts had been calling for, adding Grace Van Slooten, a 6'3" athletic forward whose size, mobility, and defensive potential appeared to fit the team's needs. Supporters viewed the move as an opportunity to improve rebounding, add depth, and provide another player capable of thriving alongside Caitlin Clark in transition. However, when the Fever faced the undefeated Golden State Valkyries, Van Slooten saw only 1 minute and 44 seconds of playing time. That decision quickly became a source of debate, with many questioning why a newly acquired player who seemed to address several roster concerns was given such a limited opportunity. Critics argued that the team could have benefited from additional size and fresh legs, especially in a demanding matchup against a strong opponent. While the Fever ultimately secured the victory, the distribution of minutes remained one of the most discussed aspects of the game, raising further questions about how the coaching staff plans to utilize new additions moving forward and whether valuable depth is being fully explored.
Caitlin is just so much better, bro. Bro, the announcer just said, Caitlin, listen. They just said Caitlin Clark is an instant MVP candidate.
Another detail that immediately caught the attention of fans was the status of Damiris Dantas in the official box score. Listed with a DNP coach's decision, Dantas did not see the floor for a single minute. That stood in sharp contrast to comments made previously, when Stephanie White had discussed a larger offensive role for Dantas and suggested that her skill set could be an important part of the team's half-court attack. Those remarks generated significant discussion at the time, especially among fans who were concerned about how the offense would be structured. As a result, seeing Dantas completely out of the rotation in such a high-profile matchup raised new questions about those earlier statements and the team's overall direction. Critics argued that the decision highlighted an inconsistency between what had been publicly discussed and what ultimately happened on the court. Whether the change was based on matchup considerations, strategy, or other factors, the contrast was difficult for many observers to ignore and added another layer to the ongoing debate surrounding the Fever's coaching decisions and offensive philosophy. While the victory provided plenty of reasons for optimism, there were also legitimate concerns that cannot be overlooked. Caitlin Clark finished with 6 turnovers, marking the 5th straight game in which she has recorded at least 4. Some of those mistakes came from ambitious passes and aggressive playmaking attempts, while others were the result of strong defensive pressure from the Valkyries. Even so, the trend is becoming difficult to ignore and remains an area that needs improvement moving forward. The Fever also left valuable points at the free throw line. Despite Kelsey Mitchell's perfect performance from the stripe, the team as a whole missed 7 free throws and finished below.
Bro. So she's still at 16 rebounds with 24 seconds left in this one. Caitlin Clark don't look like she's going to get a double-double, but you never know. You just never know. But they out fouling, so I doubt she get it. 22, 9 and 2. 22, 9 and 2. Solid numbers, bro. Caitlin Clark been averaging 20 points a game, guys. She's been easily average.
The Indiana Fever's 90-82 victory over the Golden State Valkyries was a significant achievement, handing their opponent its first loss of the season and improving Indiana's record to 4-2. Considering how close both overtime defeats were, the Fever can reasonably feel that they have been competitive in every game they have played. On the surface, the result appears to be a major success and another sign of the team's potential. However, the win does not erase the questions and controversies that have surrounded the organization in recent weeks. Caitlin Clark once again played a central role, carrying a heavy workload and delivering when her team needed her most. At the same time, ongoing debates about roster decisions, player usage, injury communication, and coaching strategy continue to generate strong reactions from fans and analysts. While the performance on the court gave supporters plenty to celebrate, it also ensured that discussions about the team's leadership and direction will remain active. The victory may have changed the conversation, but it certainly did not end it, and many observers will be watching closely to see how the organization handles the challenges that still lie ahead. Many of the team's harshest critics believe this game reinforced concerns they have held for weeks about the direction of the organization. In their view, Caitlin Clark continues to be the driving force behind the Fever's success, consistently delivering under pressure and helping the team overcome challenges both on and off the court. Her 32-minute performance against a previously unbeaten opponent only added fuel to ongoing debates surrounding injury reports, roster decisions, and coaching choices. While supporters and analysts may disagree on the conclusions, there is no question that these topics remain at the center of the conversation. As the season continues, fans will be watching closely to see how the organization responds and whether recent controversies eventually fade or grow into larger issues. Thanks for watching WNBA Pro. If you enjoy in-depth basketball analysis and discussions that go beyond the final score, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Clark's performance answered questions about her recent absence, and what are your views on the coaching decisions made during this game? Let us know below, and stay tuned for more coverage and analysis in the next episode.